All right, so we're going to talk about surface area of rectangular prisms. So a rectangular prism is really essentially just a box, right? When we talked about area, it was just length times width, but that was just area of like one side of a rectangle, whereas this box has a whole bunch of sides, right? Got a whole bunch of sides and the bottom and the top. So it's got a whole bunch of sides. So we have to kind of find the area of each side. And now there's a new formula to find that, okay? And the area is 2 times your length times your width, which remember was our basic square, plus 2 times your width times your height, because now that's essentially width times your height. That's these sides. This first one was length times width, was down here and up here. And it's times 2 because there's 2 pieces of it, right? There's 2 left sides, 2 top sides. And then the last one is 2 length times height. And that's going to be these guys. Right, and again, 2, because it kind of molds it together, okay? So hopefully that, I don't know, visually helped a little bit. So really we're just adding things up and multiplying them. So let's apply this formula to the first one, okay? So again, we always write, sorry, it's not an A, it's an S for surface area. I apologize. It's an S for surface area. Okay. So we always write the formula first, right? So we're gonna rewrite the formula down here, which it was S equals 2 length times your width plus 2 width times the height plus 2 length times the height. Once we do that, then we need to label our shape. Okay, so we need to label what our length, our width, and our height is. Our length and our width are always kind of the bottom 2 numbers. So the length is kind of more often the longest number because it's how long the box or shape is. So this is your length. Your width is how wide it is, like how far are those 2 edges from each other, like how wide is that box. And then your height is how tall that box is. Your height is how tall the box is. So now that we have all of these labeled, let's start plugging them in. Okay, so we always do S is 2 times your length, which is 10, times your width, which is 3, plus 2 times your width, which is 3. Again, I'm just getting these numbers from here. Okay. And your height is 4, plus 2 times your length. Your length was 10, times your height, which is 4. Okay, so now that we have these, now we just need to multiply. So you're definitely going to need a calculator for this one. So you can multiply it a couple of different ways. I generally multiply the, what am I trying to say? I generally multiply these numbers together first and then multiply by 2. But you can multiply by 2 and then the other way. It doesn't really matter. But I'm going to multiply by each other first. So 10 times 3 is 30. Again, I'm just bringing my plus and my 2 down. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 10 is 40. So now I have 2 times 30. 2 times 30 is 60. 2 times 12 is 24. 2 times 40 is 80. So now we get to add those all up, right? So once you get that, add those all up, add up 60 plus 24, which is 84, plus 80, 84 plus 80 is 164. Again, we're still finding a type of area, so we're still going to have to label. It was inches up here. We're going to put inches down here. And again, because it was area, we're going to square it. Okay, so now that's how we do it. So we're going to do that one more time together, and then I'm going to have you do the third shape all on your own. Okay, so again, we start the process off by plugging it into, we're writing our formula down. 2 length times width plus 2 width times height plus 2 length times height. Remember, you don't need to memorize this formula because it'll be on a formula sheet for you. And I'll have them up on the board as you guys are working through things. So once you write down the formula, then we need to start plugging things in. But before we do that, we have to label. So remember, this bottom piece is your length. How wide the shape is, how wide that box is your width, and how tall that box is your height. Okay, so now we're going to plug it in to our formula. We always write the 2 down. Our length is 6, and our width is 3. I'll write this all in the same parentheses. Doesn't really matter. Write your plus 2. Your width is 3, right? Our width is 3 times our height, which is 4, plus 2 times our length, which is 6, times our height of 4. Okay, now simplify in the parentheses first, right? So we're going to do 6 times 3. 6 times 3 is 18. Bring down your plus 2. 3 times 4 is 12. Bring down your plus 2. 6 times 4 is 24. Okay, now multiply all of those by 2, right? So 2 times 18, if you don't know that, do that in a calculator. 2 times 18 is going to give us 36. 2 times 12. 2 times 12 is going to give us 24. And 2 times 24 is going to give us 48. All right, now add those all up. Add those all up. So 36 plus 24 is 60. 60 plus 48 is 108, hopefully. And remember, you label it. It's centimeters, so put centimeters here. And because it's a type of area, we put squared. All right, so I want you to try the next one on your own. Okay, but I'm going to get you started. I'm going to write out your formula. 2 length times width plus 2 width times height plus 2 length times height. I'm going to help you label. Your length this time we said was the longest side. It's not really the longest side this time, right? It's always on the bottom and it comes straight across. This is your length, it's 5 centimeters. Your width is how wide that box is. So that's this 4. And in this case, your height, how tall the box is your 10. Okay, so now start plugging that in, and we'll go over that in class the next time I see you.